Today I'll be talking about why your landscape design website isn't getting clients, and you might be a little surprised why. And so right here is the example website that I'm looking at, which is Tropic Greenery. And first of all, I think that they have a lot of good things going, but the website just isn't doing it justice. And so the good things that this website has going is that, first of all, they've been around for a long time, since 1981. That's almost 40 years of business, and the longevity speaks for itself. You wouldn't be in business for 40 years if, if the business isn't doing well. And so I think that's a big thing that this company can lean on compared to other companies. Another thing as well that this website does is that it shows a bit of project images here in this slideshow. And the work speaks for itself, being 40 years in business. And this landscape here is beautiful. It's amazing the work that they do. So again, this is just a simple couple fixes for our website. But I think that if we fix the website, it can definitely show the benefits of this company and why they're the ones that are worth hiring versus other people. First of all, like I mentioned in previous videos, the one thing that's really important with a hero section is that it has to capture these areas here: what they do, who they do it for, and why does it matter, and then the next step. And then optionally have some social proof. So if we look at their design right now, they have a slideshow that's playing. If we look at the live website, it's basically going through different pictures that the work is beautiful, but I think if they hired a professional photographer, it would make it look a lot better. And so right now the pictures are good, but they could be done a lot better, because you can see a little bit of the low res artifacting, pixelation that's kind of happening around it. And also every time when the slide changes, the text doesn't change, and it's very generic. It's almost like a label and not really answering those things that I mentioned earlier. So Tropic Greenery is here and Tropic Greenery is here. So we can kind of remove the Tropic Greenery. It's kind of redundant to have it there. And instead, this area, the key area here, should answer these things here: what, who, and why it matters. And then the next step. All right. And so one thing that I've noticed from the section here is that this request service button is really bright red, and it doesn't really match the rest of the branding. It's good that it stands out, but it's a little bit too much. And I think that also when you click request service, we don't really know what service that is. They offer landscape design, maintenance, fertilization, so many different stuff. So what service is that? And so I think using a label that's a little bit better in terms of like what we're going to do, what the button does when you click it, it makes it less frustrating and less of a guessing game. Also too, this navigation's a little bit just different. Usually when you design websites, you kind of want to have the same design patterns that people are used to. The internet's been out for a while now, obviously. And when you have a navigation, you really want to stay within those patterns that people are used to when they land on websites. And so they have the logo up here. They have the navigation kind of like all the way to the left-hand side. And then they have the contact form button all the way to the right, hanging on by itself on an island here. It's easy to miss. And the phone number's on the other side. So it's just not really optimized to use this space. The other thing too is that this image doesn't go off to the side. It gets cut off on the left side and the right side. And and then again, like I mentioned, the biggest thing is just the content that this is saying here in the center. So again, it has to say what they do, who's it for, why does it matter, and what's the next step. So this right here definitely could use a little bit more finessing in terms of that area. So now I'm going to reveal the redesign that we did for this hero section, and I think it's a lot cleaner and it answers those areas. So for what they do, it says it here: landscape that transform your yard, built to last. And that right there is a mixing what they do and kind of why it matters. Because you want, biggest thing in Florida, a lot of yards here get a lot of sun and a lot of rain. And so it kind of destroys yards a lot. And so they're specializing in yards that look beautiful, but also built to last, like it says. Then the other thing is there's a secondary line that says custom landscape design and installation in Brevard County. So Brevard County residents is the residents. It's the who of who they do it for. And it says what they do: custom landscape and installation. And then again, we added another section here that says family owned since 1981. We design, build, and maintain outdoor spaces you'll be proud to show off. So again, it says, actually we're already introducing social proof into this. So family owned since 1981. So they're not, rookies when it comes to this stuff. And it's already bringing in that social proof. And a good hero section is a good hero section should be enough if they wanted to do the next step that you want them to take, which in this case, I created these two buttons, which the main primary action would be to get a free estimate. That's what leads into the work. When they get an estimate, they like the estimate, and then they're like, all right, let's go, let's get the yard done. And that's basically what leads to the business for the company. So again, this section right here really helps with that, versus this one here. It doesn't really answer those questions. It kind of makes them go on to the rest of the website, which is good. But if this doesn't speak to them, the hero section, there's no reason to keep on going down into the website. This hero section is very important for that. So if it intrigues them and it speaks to them, then they're more likely to scroll down and learn more about the business. But if this doesn't capture them, they're going to get off the website and they're going to go to your competitors instead. And that's what we don't want, because that affects money, right? If we want to grow our businesses and continue to get more business and put more money in your pocket as a business owner. So again, with this design here, what we did also, I was able to kind of finesse this background image and throw it into some AI mock-up stuff. And so we took this image and we made it a little bit more professional. So this is, I'm not saying that to use AI for images, but I just wanted to explain the concept of how this can be presented with a photographer. I think this image alone, they say an image is worth 1,000 words. And I think this definitely is speaking more than 1,000 words. It shows the quality of the work they do. It shows the beauty of, the service that they provide. And also you can imagine yourself, like you see this, you want that for yourself. So you would want to initiate a conversation with them to see how they can do something similar for you. And when it comes to the navigation, we simply simplified it. So now it says services, artwork, about, contact, and get a free estimate. And the idea with this is that if for whatever reason they're not convinced at this hero section and they scroll down, this navigation would be a sticky navigation that would follow them throughout the website. So there's always one click away for them to get a free estimate, which is the main call to action that brings in business. And that's why we have this here. I'm going to keep this very uncluttered and very clean. And so when you go hover over services, that's when all the services would show. And if you click services, imagine going to a page that would kind of cleanly briefly talk like an overview of each service, and then each service would have its own page, which also would help be really good for SEO to pop up in search engine results. And I also went ahead and cleaned the logo up because this logo looks very dated and it looks a little warped here on the Y for some reason. And this globe, I don't really understand the correlation of tropic greenery and the globe, and it just seems like an icon. So this is something I would consider changing. So I just really quick just cleaned it up to something else that it looks a little bit cleaner on a website. And yeah, so those are the two things that I recommend. So again, for your website, for your landscape design website, I would definitely try to answer these questions within the hero section: is what you do, who you do it for, why it matters, and the next step that you want them to take. What is the primary call to action? And it should be something that definitely results in the bottom line of the business and getting people calling or filling out forms that you can provide your service for them. And then optionally, just social proof. So I say optional because social proof can be put later down in the website, but definitely should be included in the verbiage here. And yeah, so I think this is a much more successful version compared to where we were before. And if this is something that you want me to do for your website, feel free to look in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to provide a review of your website, and we can get on a call and do a strategy session. No cost, no pressure. And yeah, so again, my name is Melvin. Been doing websites for over a decade, and be more than happy to talk to you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, and have a great day.